Assalamu alaikum. Today we're starting another interview with a pioneer, a Muslim and member of Masjid al-Mu'minun on this Jummah, June 4, 2010. And we have with us today Brother Akbar Ali Bilal Muhammed. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Pleasure. How you doing today?
Good. All the time to do that.
Good, good. Well, we have been conducting these interviews for several weeks now, collecting information about pioneers' lives, and compiling these interviews to make available to the community in the future. Would you please give us your date of birth?
Yes, I was born 11/23/34, November 23rd, 1934.
Tell us about your parents' family, the siblings, the father's name and mother's name.
Okay. My father was a farmer. Well, sharecropper, really. And we grew up in Lee Ford County, Mississippi, near Greenwood, Mississippi. His name was Joseph Moore, and he married my mother. Her name was Mary Lee Moore, and both lived in Greenwood area. We grew up, like I said, sharecropping, and around Greenwood, Money, Mississippi, that general area. I began school at the age of 5, not 6, at the age of 5, at a little church school at the time. And we had very strict teachers. I enjoyed school. I graduated 1 year earlier, at 17 years old. And I didn't really enjoy farming. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the way things were turning out. I didn't receiving the money I needed to receive, so I left and went to the city of Greenwood and got a job, started working. So I worked after school was out, and I worked after the crops and everything was gathered. So when I finished high school, I didn't go back home.
We're going to back up a little because there's some things about your family life before we get there.
Okay.
After school and all.
It's already
your brothers and sisters. How many brothers and
Yes.
sisters did you have?
Yes, I have, that is, 4 brothers, well, 3 brothers, 4 myself. 3 have proceeded, they all have passed.
Okay.
They all have passed.
Okay.
I have 2 sisters who are living, still living, that I grew up with.
Were you the youngest or the?
No, I'm the oldest living, but I am the 3rd. I'm the 4th child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in the middle.
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
Umudu, Washington.
Okay. All right.
Just a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we can go back. I just wanted to get the family in here.
Okay.
And you said that you left high school.
I finished high school.
Finished high school. Were you a good student?
Didn't miss a grade. Didn't miss I passed every year with talking about A and a B average.
Is that right?
Like that, yeah.
Very good. Did you go to college?
After, I'll tell you about the rest of my life. I'll tell you about
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, so when I finished school, I decided to go and work in the city. The jobs that were offered was hotel job, waiter, car hop, and that type thing. So the U.S. Army contacted me and asked me about going and listen to the Army. So I went down to Jackson, Mississippi, and went through the testing and examination, and they told me I wasn't an infantry type person. I was more or less Navy type person. So they encouraged me to join the Navy, so I did. Now, I was anxious to get out of Mississippi, and the Navy, in my opinion, was my way out.
Right.
So I took the Navy. I stayed in the Navy 4 years.
Okay. What was your rank? Highest rank?
My highest rank was Seaman First Class.
Okay.
Seaman First Class. And I only stayed 4 years. At that time, man, the ranks was not the progress for black people. I was thinking the Army would be different from where I was living, nothing like the South at all. I got to the Army, I found the Army just as bad, really.
So you actually went in the Army?
I mean the Navy.
Okay, you went in
served
the Navy.
Armed Forces.
Okay, all right.
And the only thing black people could be, unless he's really smart, well, no such thing as black officers.
Right.
Only thing he could be the petty officer.
Okay.
And he has to have twice the, what you call that word, GED. Not GED, but
Great point.
how do you, IQ.
Oh, okay. IQ.
That's a high IQ. You know, I had an IQ pretty high, but every time I'd go up for advancement, they say someone had 1 point over me. So I was held back there.
Okay.
So the only thing I could become in the Navy at that time, according to what they say I was qualified for, was a boatswain mate. I was above the steward's mate, the commissary. So they said I could go into the seamanship, which is the boatswain mate. And so that was my my Navy career.
Were you disappointed in the Navy because
at first,
of the lack of advance opportunity?
At first, yeah. Okay. And then they tried to insist that I enlist again. They called it ship over. I said, no, I'm going to get out and live my life, civilian life. I don't want to put all my life in the Navy, in the services. So I...
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was discharged.
Okay.
Honorable, yes.
I want to take us back to your town in that part of Mississippi. What was the social life like? Well, I know it was oppression and these types of things, but what did you view it as?
Well, social life was more or less segregated life. We had our own little society. We had our own entertainment areas that we went in the city. They had, what I was interested in is something above the low life type drinking life. I didn't like that. I more or less was interested in the jazz and the more or less intellectual, or like we had the social club and so forth. I was interested in that. So that's the group I took, because in the organized for this, I say established for black people, it was the same way basically it is now. People killing each other, they wasn't shooting too much there, and they were stabbing and so forth, you know, and that type of thing. I wasn't interested in that route. I never did forget that. So when I was more successful, I'll come around, and everybody used to call me Brother John. Incidentally, my name is Johnny Percy Moore.
Okay.
At the time, you know.
First name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
what church did you attend when you were born?
I had a church in the country called Lockalomi. I was a Baptist church.
Okay.
And I grew up in the choir singing.
Singing a choir.
Singing a quartet and that type thing. You know.
You was part of a little group also?
Yes,
Group?
I did that, yeah. And that was my humble beginning.
Did you enjoy
I enjoyed
church
that.
life?
I enjoyed the singing part of it. I wasn't too interested in too much in the preaching part of it. Certain preachers I could more or less relate to, he was more or less common sense preacher. And I wasn't too hung up in the, what we call it now, self-righteous, doomsday preacher type thing. I wasn't too much interested in that too much. At first, when I started listening to it, when I go home, I'll be scared to death. Like you say, in the morning, I'll be thinking it'll be tomorrow morning, that type thing.
Right.
Younger, you know.
Right.
And but I strayed away from that.
What impact did the church have on your life?
Well, one thing about the church, like I said, scared you to death. That you didn't want to do anything against God, against how he was teaching. And I respected that.
Right.
Even though I had my common sense, I did things that some things I was ashamed of, you know, like all was going on. But for the most part, the people in my community had a great deal of respect for us because they said we were a humble family. They're humble. We went out with the gang. We went out with the lower part. If they saw us around them, they tell my parents, and we'd get an earful.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes, you know, we get chastised.
Right.
Yeah. And that's basically.
Okay, did your pastor, do you remember your pastor? Did he have an impact on you personally?
My what,
The pastor of the church. Did he have any impact on your life as a young man?
As a young man, yes. Because in essence, I got a belief in God. A belief in God. I was very, very religious. All of my sisters and brothers were religious. And even though we had the attraction from the world, we had a base of religious background. And that was an old-fashioned religion we had. And that lived with me. Yeah, I would think about when I do things that I felt wasn't right, wasn't correct. I think about my religious background. I think about what my mother said about religion. That was a little faster than that. He didn't talk too much about religion, but he was a deacon of the church, you know. He went to church every Sunday. You know, religious people are now, they go to church and then they go back to the world.
Right.
He's much like that.
Right.
It doesn't make sense, but he had a base.
Now, after you got out of the military, out of the Navy, did you take up college or did you go to work?
Yeah, I was discharged back in '58, and right away I took advantage of the GI Bill.
Okay.
And I searched the curriculum, the opportunities during that time, and I decided to go not academic institution, but technical institution. And I majored in business administration, food service management, institution of food management, food service management. And I landed a job at UCLA working at the resident hall. Resident hall is dormitory, you know, part of resident hall, and I was a food service manager there. I worked there. They had a program, however, that they would pay for 4 years of training you to be that food service manager. So I ran that hall for about maybe 2 years, and then I transferred to another hall, a hall called Reba Hall and Hershey Hall, and they were all resident hall with food service management there. And I learned very easy, it was nothing to it to me. I learned the ropes of it, keep records, you know, and that type thing. What I do, had a secretary to do the paperwork for me. buying, purchasing, watching the budget, like hours of employees, not over the budget, that type thing, you know. The whole
you managed the whole
exactly,
operation.
the whole operation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then UCLA?
UCLA.
In Los Angeles.
UCLA in Los Angeles.
Okay. So you went out there after you graduated from college?
No, I didn't graduate from college. I went to service when I got out of high school.
Right.
After I got out of service, I began the technical direction.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, that was a 4 year.
Okay. You see that. Okay. I remember meeting you as a restaurateur in Greenville, Mississippi.
Okay.
And I think that might have been...
Was it Greenwood or
Greenwood.
Okay.
You had a restaurant down there.
Yeah, I did have a food service business.
Okay.
After I had came back to Mississippi, I told you, I decided when I went to the masjid, I went to the temple here, if you need to know about that.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, after I, got out of college, technical institute study at those college, UCLA Extension is where I was schooling.
Right.
And then came to mosque.
How did you hear about Al-Islam?
I was very, very curious about life. I always had a question about God, and we sit around. At that time, I'd become aware of other things other than drinking liquor or things like that. I came to where they would smoke marijuana and everything. And he'd come over my house. One of the guys come over my house, they'd bring up marijuana joints and smoke and everything. We'd talk. And we'd philosophize. And there's always a question about God. Where is he? Who is he? And, it's where everything came from. So we get to the question where everything came from, then we ask, I want to know where did that came from. Right. So I went, one day, brother said, look, I'm going to take you where you can find out some of all that he's talking about. I want you to listen to this. He didn't say where. So he took me to the mosque, to the temple. And minister was teaching Islam, freedom, justice, and equality. Kind of strange, but it wasn't a question. The question mark was seen to be that I was thinking about was seen to be being answered right there.
The first time you visited.
First time.
And that was in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles.
Okay.
Mosque number 27.
Okay.
At the time, Temple of Islam.
Right.
Yeah. And Minister John Shabazz was the minister. Okay. And the captain was Captain Ali Rashid. His name was Edward 2X at the time. Ali Rashid, bad captain. Right. I came up under him after right away, wasn't no problem me recognizing that right away. Before my actions would come up, I was ready to go up there and accept. So they sent me up there, write my letter,